The Petaluma River runs through Sonoma and Marin County near San Francisco. Its waters flow past marshes and sloughs into the tidal estuary of San Pablo Bay and eventually spill into the Pacific Ocean. Abundant flora thrives around the waterway, and a variety of unique wildlife enjoy the calm and peaceful river flow.
We have several abandoned vessels that have been left with hazardous materials on board. We've documented that these vessels are threats to both human health and the environment.
Abandoned boats, barges, piers, buildings, tires, and toxic debris litter the waterways that provide drinking water to 2/3 of California. Rotting barges and submerged boats may seem like nothing more than forgotten junk, but they're the reason the U.S. EPA, Sonoma County, and CalRecycle undertook the Petaluma Precedent, a first-of-its-kind joint cleanup effort of the Petaluma River. Oozing a toxic cocktail of battery acid, oil, gasoline, propane, solvents, asbestos, lead paint, antifreeze, and sewage, the decaying and sunken boats contaminate the water, air, and soil, and pose a navigation hazard to boaters. The danger starts immediately after a boat sinks, but the threat remains long afterward. A boat can sit quietly underwater for many years, and suddenly there can be a burp of oil, and now there's an environmental hazard. A gallon of motor oil has the potential to pollute up to 1 million gallons of water.
The biggest concern is, what are we going to find? We certainly have had a lot of testing done. We know that there are some hazmat items sitting out there that need to be removed. Everything from simple car batteries, gasoline, and other petroleum products that are in containers.
Eventually, as we get all this material from all these different vessels off onto a staging area, we'll go ahead and segregate them, figure out the waste streams, and then dispose of them appropriately.
The other challenge is access. It's not easy stuff to access. You can't just call a tow truck in to come in and tow this junk away. It's an endeavor.
The procedure here on this particular project is similar to what we do on land, but we're using barges and landing craft in order to do it. So we have excavators and cranes like we would use on land, but these excavators and cranes are being floated on barges. It's a little technical in the fact that we have to take debris off the water, and then the debris has to be placed on land, and then from land we go to the disposal facility.
Crews pump water out of the submerged boats and float them to a staging area. The boats are dismantled and recycled as scrap metal or hauled away for proper disposal. Divers work the depths of the river ranging from 2 to 16 feet, and work crews transport the material to the appropriate disposal and recycling facility.
For this particular project, it's controlled a lot by the tide. A lot of these sites are not accessible to get equipment out there to clean up.
The tide is actually the most challenging part of this project. When the tide comes in, we'll be able to grab certain resources, and when the tide goes out, we're able to grab certain resources. Tides are anywhere between 8 and 10 feet. Sometimes you see stuff that's here, and then 5-6 hours later, it's gone. The Petaluma Precedent project is different than most, and the fact that we have to put out booms for both oil and debris. So as the excavators and cranes are breaking apart the barges and the old vessels, these booms capture both the oil, if it is released, and the debris. After we capture the debris and the oil from the booms, we're able to place that material into bins, and those bins are placed on barges, and from there, we take it to the disposal facility.
By removing them and getting them out of the river and out of this environment, we've mitigated that threat, and we've also set the standard for the next removal action that we may do in the future. And the collaboration we're doing with the state is to have the U.S. EPA take care of all the hazardous substances, and CalRecycle is dealing with the solid waste.
It's a combination between U.S. EPA, CalRecycle, City of Petaluma, and Sonoma County Sheriff's Department, along with the U.S. Coast Guard. It's a multi-agency from state, federal, local, and city. All the resources are coming together to address this problem. The Petaluma Precedent initially started out at $800,000. However, during our initial field investigation, we've done some sampling, and unfortunately, the samplings come back hot for asbestos, PCBs, and other toxins we didn't initially anticipate. So the funding for this particular project from US EPA side has been doubled. So currently we're standing at $1.2 million just to get this project off the ground.
So we come in and we basically oversee our contractors working, and then we also have the check. We can take those funds, give them to our contractors, and let them do what they do well.
In the end, 11 boats, 6 debris sites, 3 piers, 3 barges, 3 vehicles, many TVs, refrigerators, tires, and hazardous waste products were cleared from the river. The Petaluma Precedent demonstrates the power of combining federal, state, and local resources toward a common goal and serves as a model for similar projects in the future.